smoking weed on the intro, but I'm drinking water. This cabin fever. Sick. And I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay the hell away from my woman. Taylor gang niggas think you can do whatever you want.
Alright, what's going on? How y'all feeling? You know, we're in the middle of February. And, you know, lately I got some good insight, some good food. You know, been testing some things out. And you know, like King Solomon, you know, he left us a bunch of things to reflect on. You know, one of the statements he says is, you know, for with much wisdom comes with much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. Because, you know, you see more. You see past, you know, the facade that, you know, us people give to each other. You know, we call that, let's say, our ego, or let's say a front. You know, people put this front up. And when you can see past the front, or you can see past people's emotions and let's say intention, or their purpose of doing things, you know, it could bring you a lot of grief, or like he said, sorrow, because maybe back in the day you used to fall for those things. Like, say the things we how we wish life was, say in middle school. You know, as you get older, elementary school, high school, as you get older, you go, oh shit, I believed the lie. But what's so funny, you know, about some of the teachings I always emphasize or talk about or always go back to, and it's very simple, that even if you heard it, and I gave it to you right now, which I am in a second, it's gonna be hard for you to play out. It's gonna be hard to do. It's gonna be hard to hold that idea and you know, apply it into everyday living, which is what it's, again, is being very childlike. And I keep emphasizing this because if I go in detail on how to apply that thinking, way of thinking, or way of being, you know, it might hurt what you have confidently been obtaining through ego. Or in other words, you built yourself up to this point, whatever age you are. And you know, like Jesus was said, are you willing to let it all go and enter the you know, the kingdom of heaven, or the kingdom of God, God's kingdom? By what? Letting go of all your riches, letting go of all your status, letting go of, you know, even with the Pharisees, letting go of your position, you know, letting go of your power. So it's funny because, you know, people work so hard for something. Maybe they work so hard to get a beautiful young lady. Maybe they work so hard to, you know, be in a certain position in corporate, or in the ladder, or the scheme of, you know, life. Maybe they work so hard to get a car. Maybe they work so hard to buy a house. Maybe they work so hard to, you know, get in shape. But when you dig a little bit deeper, you start to realize that, or you can ask yourself this question: well, what is it when these people get these things, and everyone's different, everyone's not trying to achieve the same thing, what is it that they're trying to experience, right? And when you dig really deep, and you see behind the lens, you understand they're trying to get into a high, enjoyable sensation, a state of bliss, of maybe freedom, right? Let's call it freedom, of happiness, you know. And you go, wow, someone will spend, say, a big chunk of time in order to get that feeling, right? They'll spend a big chunk of time working hard to gain the money to get this item. And once they achieve this item, they're gonna feel a certain sensation of having it. It's going to bring them to the thing that they could not achieve, but only through imagination, now until it becomes physically obtained. All the expectations and good feelings and butterflies and excitement and freedom, now they're able to experience something that once was, I can't wait to be here, I can't wait to get this, I can't wait to look like this, I can't wait to obtain X, Y, and Z. Now I'm going to feel, finally I got it, good, I finally, this is giving me the freedom to feel this, right? But you know, like anybody says that has ever got, let's say, whatever they wanted. I mean, let's start as you know, young kid. Maybe you want that Spider-Man toy, and you wanted it so badly, and you know, for Christmas you finally got it. You know, you imagine having the toy, but you felt so miserable, or you didn't feel that good, or you didn't feel like you didn't give yourself, it wasn't a legitimate excuse to feel good because you wanted that. Until you got that, then you felt good. Say we get older, now it's maybe a relationship, maybe it's a job position, a career, you know, like I said, a car, whatever, right? So we start to substitute these things. But what's so interesting is people don't understand there's a true level of freedom that no looks, no money, no status can get you when you understand social skills. Let's put it like that. Because what starts to happen is, and I have to talk around it because it's going to fly over people's head. It's too complex, you know, for the majority of people. When you know how to tap into this level of freedom in social environments, and what do I mean? Imagine you already obtained that level of freedom that you imagine getting once you get whatever thing you want. Imagine you obtain that level of freedom on command, on purpose. Maybe you build yourself up to it. And from that state, from that elevated emotional, like say, feeling, you start to interact with the world like that. You know what that does? It puts you in a certain place in relation to everybody, which is, you start to realize that like, you know, for example, me going out the other night, the most handsome man, the best good looking man in the room, in a sense, I'm gonna put it like this, I can outbeat him in a social situation because I'm not relying on my looks. I'm not relying on money. I'm not relying on, you know, these things. I'm relying on this sense of freedom I allow myself to have. And for some reason, I start to become more open, and people start to be more receptive to me, because I tap into a very childlike state that becomes contagious.